all sorts of reasons people don't seek medical care. Some face financial hardship. Others simply don't make the time. But in certain ethnic communities, language barriers and deep-rooted cultural perceptions combine to make obstacles to treatment even more formidable. In tonight's Focus Report, we look at the stigma surrounding mental illness in the Latino community and what's being done to improve access to care. It's Thursday, and Jose Acevedo arrives for his regular appointment with his therapist. Now in recovery, he's struggled for years with substance abuse, anxiety, and depression.
My symptoms were sleeping too much or not at all, eating too much or not at all, and I was anxious. I couldn't relax, and at night all these problems kept running through my mind, and I couldn't fall asleep.
Jose refused to get help and hit rock bottom. His substance abuse got out of control. He lost his family and landed in prison.
When I had these symptoms, I didn't tell anyone and kept them to myself. I was afraid people would judge me and avoid me.
The fear to seek help is something Luisa Pimentel sees all too often among her Latino patients at Casa Esperanza, a mental health clinic in Dorchester.
Particularly here with the Latino population, mental health services and therapy aren't things that they're used to and that are common. So when they come here to seek help, they're kind of embarrassed. They don't tell their families because they're scared their families will view them as broken.
But cultural barriers are only part of the problem in communities where English is a second language.
The language is huge. Even if a client knows English and they grew up speaking Spanish, they have an easier time explaining their emotions in their native language. They'll speak English in here, but once it gets really deep or really emotional, the Spanish just comes out.
Created in 1984, Casa Esperanza remains one of the few treatment centers in Massachusetts to offer full bilingual services. For Jose, a native of Puerto Rico who speaks little English, that was key.
Having a person who understands me culturally, who speaks my language, has helped me a lot because I can express myself.
That cultural understanding is exactly what Dr. Mari Carmen Benassar teaches at the Newton-based School of Professional Psychology.
Learning about a culture, learning about and addressing oppression, remember that? And then the third one is an ongoing process of addressing your biases and stereotypes.
With a growing ethnic population in Massachusetts, Dr. Benassar says the next generation of therapists must not only speak other languages, but understand those cultures too.
It's beyond the language. We do focus on taking someone that has basic and intermediate skills for language beyond and more advanced, but that cultural understanding that would allow that person to make a connection in therapy.
Some of Dr. Benassar's graduates now work at Casa Esperanza, which provides services to over 150 people, mostly in Spanish. As for Jose, he credits them with bringing stability to his life.
Getting professional help here at Casa Esperanza has changed my life because I've learned that my world hasn't ended, that there is a future for me.
My next